means either you can give begin tran and commit, or no need to give begin tran and commit. Okay, you can give begin tran and commit, or no need to give begin tran and commit. If you give begin tran and commit, it will execute. If you don't give, SQL Server will automatically give the begin tran and commit statements, right? Whereas explicit transactions are, you can give begin tran, okay, of course, you have to give begin tran, but at the end of the transaction, you will not give commit. Okay. At the end of the transaction, you will not give commit. So commit will not be there in the explicit transaction. You will only start the transactions with begin tran, but you won't give commit, and also those transactions will be explicit transactions, right? So explicit transactions are uncommitted transactions. Why? Because if you give begin tran commit, it will commit. If you don't give begin tran and commit, SQL Server will give begin tran and commit. In that case also it will commit, the transaction will commit, right? But if you started with begin tran, if you don't give big commit, okay, SQL Server will not give commit to the transaction. SQL Server will understand this transaction as an uncommitted transaction. Okay. In that case, SQL Server will not give commit query, commit syntax, whatever we can say. Okay. Commit will not be given by SQL Server. So what happened is those transactions will become uncommitted transactions. Implicit transactions are committed transactions, and whereas explicit transactions are uncommitted transactions. Okay. So which transaction we can roll back? Implicit transaction or explicit transaction? Explicit transaction we can roll back. Why?
Why? Because we are not
We are
giving
not
the
giving commit.
commit.
Yes. Okay. So if you don't give commit, the transaction, okay, will not be committed, right? So it will be easy to roll back the transaction, right? It will be easy to roll back the transaction. Once the transaction is committed, you cannot roll back it. Why? Because data will be saved to the physical file permanently. In such case, if you want to delete it, you have to run delete operation or truncate operation or drop operation, but you cannot roll back for the committed transactions. Whereas uncommitted transactions, you can roll back it. Okay, fine, right, very good. So
Shanmugh, can you give
yes,
me recording option for me?
let me
Please
check.
ask.
Anil Kumar, right? I guess I gave you the recording permission. Yeah, just check everyone. I gave you the recording permissions. Yes, we have two people, new people here today.
Host
Okay,
disable.
1 minute. Okay, I guess I gave you the recording permissions, Anil. Yeah, it is showing allow record for me.
Host disable participant screen sharing like that. Sure.
No, no, no. You are trying to share the screen.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So
Okay. Yeah, now it's
Vasreddy,
recording.
yeah, Vasreddy and Anil and Rajesh. Okay. Right. I gave you the recording permissions for all of you.
Yes, sir.
You can record the session. The session will be stored in your computer itself. Okay. And Vasreddy, I guess you joined from the mobile phone. So for you, I cannot give the
Yes,
recording
yes, sir.
option. Yeah. The recording option will be disabled those who join from the mobile phone. Okay. So for them, I cannot give recording permissions. Those who join from the laptop, they can record the session. Okay. The recordings will be saved in your computer itself. Okay. No need to wait for my recordings again. Okay. Right, Rajesh?
Yes, Shanmugh. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Fine.
already, I have started recording already.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Right. Fine. So in the last class, we have discussed about the databases hierarchy. We have discussed about the hierarchy. Okay. Usually, can anyone tell me the hierarchy? What will be the database internal architecture? What will be the database architecture? Like hierarchy will be there, right? In SQL Server instances, in the instances database, like that. Can anyone tell me that
So once
hierarchy?
we are creating the databases,
Mhm.
so in default we are it's getting the um, primary data, primary file groups.
Okay,
But
very good.
with that primary file groups, default we are creating MDF and LDF files.
Mhm.
After that, MDF and for inside MDF we have extend.
Very good.
Inside extend we have pages.
Very good. Right, fine. Good, good. So here this is the architecture, okay? This is how it look like. In SQL Server, collection of instances. Okay, instance means one SQL Server, right? Instance means one SQL Server software copy is equal to one instance. Like that, how many instances we can install in a machine? 50 instances we can install in a machine, right? One SQL Server software copy is called an instance, right? In the instances, you will have databases, right? In the databases, you will have file groups and log files. Log files doesn't belongs to any file group concept. There is no file group concept for the log file. So in the databases, you will have file groups and log files. In the file groups, we have different types of files. Okay, in the file groups, we will have files. File group is nothing but collection of files, collection of data files. Okay, file group is nothing but collection of data files. Usually, you know, right, the database is nothing but a collection of a data file and log file. At least two files should be there if you want to create a database. Without data file and log file, you cannot create a database. Once you create any database, automatically two files will be created. Those two files are, one is MDF file, master data file, and second one is LDF file, log file. Okay, MDF file and LDF file. These two files are compulsory. Whenever you create any database, automatically it will create one data file and log file. Okay, without having that data file or log file, you cannot create any database. So forget about that log file as of now. The data files will not exist. Okay, the data files will not exist alone. The data files can exist only on file groups. Okay, so that's why in the databases, file groups and log files will be there. Again, if you go inside the file groups, you will have data files. Okay, remember, file groups is a collection of data files, collection of data files. Okay, not collection of files. Collection of files means we have data file and log file. Okay, but file group is only a collection of data files. If you go inside any data file, we have two types of data files actually, MDF file and NDF file. MDF file means master data file and NDF file means next data file or new data file. If you go inside any data file, MDF or NDF, if you go inside any data file, again, okay, you have this one extents. Okay, again you will have extents. If you go inside the extents, you will have pages. So what is a page? What is the definition of the page?
Basic storage.
Pages?
Basic storage unit of an object.
Not an object. Okay, basic storage unit of a data file. Okay, yeah, basic storage unit of a data file is called a page. Okay, right. And what is an extent?
Continuous of 8 data pages.
Okay, collection of
Basic
8 data
allocation
pages.
Collection
unit.
of eight data pages.
Okay, collection of 8 data pages is called an extent. So what is the size of the extent?
64 KB.
Okay, so the page size is 8 KB, right? So page size is 8 KB. So one extent is nothing but 8 data pages. One extent is nothing but 8 data pages. So page size is 8 KB. Each page size is 8 KB. It is not going to change. Okay, can anyone tell me why the page size is 8 KB? Anyone having any idea why SQL Server or Microsoft, okay, set one value for the page? Why it was 8 KB? Can anyone tell me the answer? Any idea? Right. Okay, fine. So I'll tell you, no problem. Right. And extent is nothing but, what is the definition of extent? Of course, extent is nothing but a collection of 8 data pages. And again, we have one more extent, one more definition
Basic
for extent.
allocation unit.
Very good. Excellent.
Basic allocation.
Yes, yes. Basic allocation unit of a SQL Server data file is called an extent. Okay, that means whenever you create any object, either a table or index or a view or a stored proc, anything, if you create any object, SQL Server will automatically allocate an extent for you, not a page. Remember, whenever you create any object, at the end of the day, physically it will store on a database. Okay, at the end of the day, it will store on a database. If your object is big, if it cannot allocate in a single page, it will go for the next page. It will use the next page. Okay. So your object may be collection of pages. For example, if you have small object, very small object, then it may accommodate in a single page. But if you have a big object, okay, you have a 1 lakh records or 10 lakh records, okay, in such case, what will happen? Based upon your records, based upon the size of the records, it may take as many pages as it can. Okay, it will try to allocate all the pages to all the records. Why? Because at the end of the day, all the records or objects has to be stored on the page itself. It cannot store. The data will be stored in the form of tables, right? In SQL Server, all the data will be stored in the form of tables, but those tables will be created on a page. Okay, those tables will be created on a page, right? So basic allocation unit is called an extent, right? How many types of extents we have?
Uniform extent and mixed extent.
Yes, we have two types of extents, uniform extent and mixed extent. So I asked you one question. Okay, so whenever you create a new object, SQL Server will allocate which extent for you?
Mixed extent.
Okay, so SQL Server will allocate a page from the mixed extent based on the size of the table. The continuous allocations will be a uniform extent. Okay, got it? The subsequent
Yes.
allocations will be a uniform extent. If your table is very big, if it cannot accommodate in a single page, then SQL Server will allocate a uniform extent for you. Got it? Clear? Fine. Right. So we'll discuss the small point why the page size is 8 KB. Okay, why the page size is 8 KB. So whenever you are reading the data, select query. Whenever you're writing that data, insert, update, delete query. Writing means insert, update and delete queries. Okay, so in all these cases, the pages that are associated with that object, say for example you have an employee table. Okay, employee table has 100 records. Okay, so you just ran select star from employee, right? You are getting the output. How you are getting the output? The pages that are associated with this employee table, maybe 1 or 2 pages, anything, any pages. Like if you have 1 million pages also, imagine. Okay, if you have 1 million pages also that are associated with the employee object, all pages has to be loaded into the memory. Memory means RAM. Okay, whenever I say memory, memory means RAM. Okay, all the pages that are associated with the employee table has to be loaded inside the RAM memory, right? Imagine your page size is very big. Instead of 8 KB, 1 MB page size is there. Imagine. So it will be difficult to load big pages inside the memory. Memory crunch will happen. So what happened is SQL Server decided not to create a big page. It will be as small as possible. So the pages are small. It will be easy to load the pages inside the memory. Got it? Only for the performance. If the page is big, it will take time to load the page inside the memory. Okay, so performance issues will come. That's why they didn't go for a big size. They just choose one value 8 KB and they decided to create a page with 8 KB. Then you can ask one more question. Sir, why 8 KB? You can go for 2 KB, right? That is very small when compared to 8 KB or 4 KB, right? Then in that case, imagine the page size is 2 KB. Okay, first case is if the page size is very big, it will take time to load the page inside the memory. That is one reason. If the page size is too small, like 2 KB, 1 KB, 4 KB and all, instead of a single page, 8 KB page, usually instead of a single page, if 2 KB page is there, right? Instead of 8 KB page, 2 KB page is there. So whenever you run select query or any insert, update, delete query, instead of loading a single page, 8 KB page, how many pages has to load inside the memory? If the page size is 2 KB, 4 pages has to load. Instead of a single page, 4 pages has to load inside the memory. So excessive pages also cause performance issues. Got it? Excessive pages also cause performance issues. Instead of a single page, you are loading 4 pages. If the page size is 2 KB, instead of a single page, you are loading 8 pages. If the page size is 1 KB. So even excessive pages also cause the performance issues. So Microsoft decided we'll choose an intermediate value, not too small, not too big. We'll go for an intermediate value. So they decided to put the page size as 8 KB. In any version of the SQL Server, default or by default, you cannot change this page size. Remember, there is no setting or option or trace flag. Nothing is there to change your page size. Clear? Is it clear? Anyone issues? Anyone having any issues? Let me know, okay? I'll explain again if you have any issues on this. Fine, right?
Fine, sir.
Okay, right. Right, okay. Uh, right, so we'll continue the last class. I guess I gave you an assignment for you, right? Anyone completed that assignment? Anyone at least tried?
Before classes, before assignment, I had done Chenmo, creating the tables, and had created, and after that, logins I had created in Windows level, and that I had done. But last class assignment I didn't done by because I don't have that. I have missed that class.
Okay,
But
so
but I had saw this class last class in that in YouTube.
okay, right. So anyone tried at least? How many questions I gave? What and all questions we have discussed?
107 9,000.
Yes, yes, yes. Good, good. So anyone tried to generate that error 1105 and 9002? Anyone tried? Okay. Silence means no.
It is for log file full, right?
Yes, log file full. Did you get a chance to generate that error? Okay, fine. So I gave one more assignment question. Can we create a database, right? Without .mdf or .ldf? Anyone tried? Anyone tried? Can we create a database without .mdf or .ldf? You didn't try, huh? Okay, no issues. Okay, so if you don't try, or else, okay, if you cannot, let me know, or the same assignment will be forward for the next class. Okay, means you have to complete the assignment in the next class, right? Can we create it? Just try it. Okay, what is there in that? Okay, can we create a database without .mdf or .ldf? Just try it. The same assignment will be carry forward to the next weekend. Okay, just let me
Okay.
know, or else if anyone going to complete by tomorrow, that is also fine. Okay, right. Fine, okay. So last time we have discussed about the page, right? Page internal architecture we have discussed how page look like. Okay. So if you go inside the page, this is how it look like. Okay. 8 KB page. Okay. In the 8 KB page, there are three portions. First portion is page header, three parts. Okay. First part is page header. Last part is row offset. Page header and row offset. How many bytes it will occupy? Page header will occupy how many bytes?
96 bytes.
Very good. Row offset will occupy how many bytes?
36 bytes.
Very good. Okay. So 96 plus 36, total it will be 132 bytes, right? And remaining you will have in 8124. Yeah. Yeah. If you
8,006.
just subtract that 132 bytes, okay, then you will have 8060 bytes. In each page, you can store 8060 bytes of information. Why? Because page header is common for every page, row offset is also common for every page. So this page header will occupy 96 bytes and this row offset will occupy 36 bytes. Okay, 96 plus 36, it will be 132 bytes. 8 KB page size is 8 KB means 8124 bytes minus 132 bytes, you will get 8062 bytes. Okay, 8060 bytes. So you can store 8000 in each and every page. The data will be stored in a 8060 bytes. If you don't understand, people, new people, if you don't understand anything, don't worry, nothing to worry. Okay, not an issue at all. These are the internals. If you go for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years of experience, then mostly they will ask. Or else if you go for any Microsoft interviews, they are going to ask these kind of questions. But don't worry about it, I'm going to forward you the recording classes for you. Okay, you will get an idea what is this pages, what we are discussing, and all the internals of SQL Server. Okay, mostly it will be theory. Okay, so don't worry about it. Right, so page header will occupy 96 bytes. What will be stored in the page header? Can anyone tell me what will be stored in the page header?
System information.
System information. Which system
About the
information?
page.
Which system information it will store? What information will be stored in the page header? People are not following or not writing anything. I just forward the whole document to you as well. Okay, very important, please don't miss this. Okay, please don't miss it. Okay, page header will contain metadata information, not system information. Okay, page header will contain metadata information about the object that is going to store inside the page. This is one page, right? In this page one table will be stored, right? So that table information will be stored in the page header. The object ID, page number, page ID, allocation unit ID, page size, how much free space, these things and all are going to store inside a page. Okay, so page header is very important. In the page header you will have all the metadata information about the object, right? And again we'll have row offset. Can anyone tell me what it is going to store in the row offset?
Address of each record.
Address of each record, very good. Okay, so in the row offset you will have address of each record will be stored in the row offset. Like it will be like it will act as a telephone directory. In the telephone directory, you know, right, name will be there and that number will be there. In the same way each record address will be stored in the row offset. Okay, so this is how the page internal architecture will be there, right? Okay, fine. Right, so we'll discuss about the, we'll go little bit deep inside the page. Okay, right, we'll discuss about the types of pages. Right, so we have two types of pages actually. Okay, we have actually two types of pages: data page and system pages. We have two types of pages, two types of pages. First one is data type, data page, and second type is system pages. System pages, data pages and the system pages. Again in the data pages we have three types: data page, okay, index page, and text or image page. Text or image page, right? So in the system pages we have five types. What are those five types? GAM page, SGAM page, okay, SGAM page, PFS page, PFS page, IAM page, BCM page, and DCM page. Okay, we'll discuss about all the pages, don't worry. Okay, so we have two types of pages. One is data page and second one is system page. Again data pages are, okay, differentiate into three pages, three types of pages: data page, index page, and text or image page. System page you will have five types: as GAM or SGAM page, PFS page, IAM page, BCM page, DCM page, right? So we'll discuss each page: what data page will store, what index page will store, what text or image page will store, what system pages will store. We'll discuss those things. Okay, data page, usually the name is, the name itself is saying data page means it is going to store the data. Fine, of course everything is going to store the data only. So what kind of data it is going to store? Right, data page will store the data except text and text image nvarchar max varchar max var binary max and xml data. Except okay. So can anyone tell me what are the data types we have in SQL Server?
Master data.
Data types, not data files. Data types, you all know the data types, okay? We have already discussed. Yeah,
Integer, varchar.
integer, char, varchar, varchar max, right? Varchar max, var binary, var binary max, float, double, money, date, time, right? XML data, right? So these are all different data types, right? We have different data types also. These are the okay important data types and all. Your database will store the data that belongs to a small data types like integer, character, varchar and var binary, float, double, money, date, time. Remaining big data types are there, right? Varchar max, var binary max. This will be stored in another data type page. Okay. Your database will only store the data that belongs to a small data types. Small data types means integer type of data will be stored in the database. Character type of data will be stored in the database. Varchar type of data will be stored in the database. Where binary type of data will be stored in the database. Like that float is also small data type. Double is also small data type. Money is also small data. The small data types data will be stored in the database. That's why if you see here, database will store the data, except we have text and text image also. This is also different types of data types, text and text image. Okay. These are the big data types, text and text image, and varchar max, var binary max, XML data. These are the big data types. Except these data types, what are other data types are there, that information will be stored by the database. Means it is going to store, okay, integer type of data, character type of data, varchar, float, int, double, okay, and we have different types, right? Time, yes, date and time. That data will be stored in the database. Okay, index page. What index page? Remaining, see, text or image page, we have another page, right? Text or image page. What is the exception here? Text and text image and varchar max, var binary max and XML data. The big data type data will be stored in the text or image page. Small data type data will be stored in the database. Big data type data will be stored in the text or image page. Right? Large object data types like text and text image, and varchar max and var binary max and XML data will be stored in the text or image page. Okay. Index page. Index page means simply like you have your index page in your book, right? So if you buy any book, you can see one index page, one or two index pages at the beginning of the book, right? One or two index pages will be there. Means simply, okay, this topic is there in the particular page number. The topic name, page number. Topic name, page number will be there in the index page. Imagine you have 1,000 pages of a book. You don't have index page. What is the issue? You have a big book, but you don't have a index page. What are the challenges if you don't have index page in the book?
Can't plan the program.
Very difficult, right? Very difficult to search
Yes.
the data. Each and every is okay. For example, you want to read one topic. You don't find the index page. You don't know this topic will present in which page number. It is very difficult to see 100,000 pages. In which page it is there, in which page it is there. It means you have to scan each and every page. Imagine if it is 1,000 pages, okay, after 1 or 2 days we are going to complete the assignment. But if you have 10,000 pages book is there, how difficult it is, right? Very difficult, right? If you go for a dictionaries and all, very big books and all will be there. So if you don't have index of a book, it will be very difficult. Okay, and 1 minute please. The meeting is going to close now. Okay, the new join is okay. Meeting will be closed for every 40 minutes. Immediately I'll open the same meeting link. Click on the meeting link you have and join immediately. Okay, the meeting will close in less than 1 minute. It is showing less than 1 minute, right? So it will close now. Automatically it will close, or else I will only close if it is showing less than 1 minute. Again, just use the same meeting link to join the meeting. Okay, I'm closing the meeting and reopen the meeting again. Try to join immediately. Okay.